All right, this morning when I woke up, I was not in the mood to go into the Dollar Tree today, which is what you guys are calling jobs apparently these days in the comment section. Probably because of what I posted the other day. So whenever a job feels like the Dollar Tree, right? I was there, was it yesterday or the day before? I mean, if I have to start shopping at the Dollar Tree, you know things are really bad. And after I recorded that little segment on job openings there, I walked up to the front and the cashier just looked at me like I'm trying to get out of here. Like she was scared. Like she didn't understand what was going on and she wanted to get the hell out of that store. Now, you imagine that's the impression that you get from the one worker you can actually see. That tells you how bad working at the Dollar Tree must be. It must be horrifying. But someone has to take that job, whether it's a college graduate, whether it's a graduate student, whether it's a PhD. You never know. If you get to the point in your life where you're seriously contemplating working at McDonald's or Chipotle or Taco Bell or the Dollar Tree, things have gotten really, really bad in America to the point where I feel like the epic economist is stealing my channel. Every time I watch him, it's like watching myself for the last 10 years. I've been telling you guys the same thing on this channel for a long time, and no one wants to believe it because everyone wants to believe that things are going to get better. And I assure you, they are not going to get better. Your boss isn't going to give you more money because he feels sad that you can't afford to buy food. No, they know that they've got you by the short hairs, which is a phrase I've heard from people twice my age since I was 18 years old. I was started out my first IT job because I've been working in this industry my entire adult life, right? And I remember one of the sadistic guys that I worked for at the time doing cabling. He said to me, "Every company has you by the short hairs, and it's the way that they want to have you. They know you can't do better because if you could, you would have left a long time ago." It's the number one reason why people leave McDonald's is they can't make it on what they're getting paid. And no one cares that you can't afford groceries or you can't put gas in your car or you can't put gas in your car and eat on the same day. No one cares. No one's coming to save you. And that's an expression I've been using for a long time that the epic economist somehow managed to get into his pie hole. But I'll put it again this way. Jesus with the tie-dye t-shirt riding on the back of a unicorn, as majestic as that looks, coming to save the proletariat is not going to happen. You're going to have to figure out how to get rich. And the number one way to get rich is know a rich person. Unfortunately, most of us proles don't know anyone that's rich, therefore we're poor. But the average person, take any given Gen Z that I've met over the past 4 years, if their parents aren't right there, doubling what they can make at 15 bucks an hour, that child will be homeless faster than you can say homeless because that's where you're all heading. Because it's impossible to make it on the wages that they're offering in America right now. With that said, let's get into our introduction. You ever notice how your paycheck stays the same, but your grocery bill looks like it just got promoted to upper management? They keep calling it inflation like it's some mysterious natural disaster, but let's be real. It's just corporations charging you $14 for a cabbage and laughing all the way to the bank. We were told to work hard and play by the rules, but now the rules, you're working, they play, and the joke is that you're the punchline. Well, these corporations know that we only have a limited amount of places that you can go to buy your food. Kroger's openly admitted that it was price gouging people. Why? Because it can. When you're offering people the wages that they're offering right now on Indeed for just about any job from programmer to caregiver to school teacher, it's all 15 bucks an hour. What are you supposed to do with that? Just kind of look at it like I do when I get paid on Friday and think to yourself, I just got an increase in my car insurance today. And I'm like, where's the increase to cover the car insurance in my paycheck? It's not coming. You're expected to stay there because there are no options. We'd all like to believe that we don't have to buy our groceries at Walmart, but think of this. The only place that's lower than Walmart is the place right next door, the Dollar Tree. And if you find yourself shopping in a Dollar Tree, something has gone horribly wrong in your life. If you're working there, oh God, yesterday I was watching one of the employees go back and get a pizza out of the freezer and thinking to myself, please don't eat that. Whatever's in that package that costs $1 and it says pizza on the outside of it, don't eat that. But a lot of people have that choice to make. Eat dirt or eat the Dollar Tree pizza. There's no third option. It's like this with work as well. There is no option right now. There's nowhere to go to get a good job. There's no way of the proletariat driving a nice car right now, or even another sick fantasy, owning a home. There's going to be entire generations, not just my generation, but the generation beneath me, all the way. There's going to be entire generations of people who are never going to feel a sense of financial security in their lives like I have. Every day, I wonder what's going to happen to me because I don't make enough money. And when more people are going online and acting like me, it's like the whole world suddenly became MillennialSteam and kind of is looking around wondering, let's see, I'm broke, I work, and I'm hungry. What is this, a third world country? Well, if you guys watched the Lincoln Project in the last couple of days, the guy who runs that channel, I think his name's Rick or something. I don't pay a lot of attention because I still realize that he's a Republican at heart, and that kind of scares me. But at the same time, he was talking about something today that really, really made me think. And that's, will the contract between us and the people at the top, is that going to break? Because there's certain language that's been used around in the last 6 months that makes me very uncomfortable. And remember, I did my last 4 years of college in Holocaust research. I spent 4 years writing Holocaust papers. I hear the language that I wrote about in my history for my history degree in World War II and Western European studies, and it frightens me. And I see people moving closer and closer to a place like that, where the language is starting to like hit certain parts of my brain that are activating and thinking about how much research, how many papers I wrote on people who talk like this and how little they care for human life. And right now I'm seeing everyone around me. I'm seeing the scared faces at the grocery store. I'm seeing people who are wondering what they're going to do, people who haven't been on vacation ever, like myself. Next week, I think I'm going to have to ask Mella to come over and water my plants and feed my animals. Because for the first time in my entire adult life, I'm actually going to go somewhere and spend the night. I've never had the money to go anywhere in my entire adult life, especially not somewhere where I go and I stay the night somewhere. That's never been a possibility in my entire life. But the Dollar Tree is going to cover the bill, so who knows how that goes. I might freak out. I mean, last night I was so drunk. I didn't know where I was, and I was standing outside, and I'm just like, oh my God, where am I? Where am I was the question I had to ask myself. Because you can't, your brain can't deal with this crap all of the time. You're dealing with financial stress. You're dealing with depression. You're dealing with wondering what's going to happen if I don't get more money. And that's actually something that one of the people who's in the video that the Epic Economist featured today was this exact thought pattern. We're at work and we're thinking about the money we're not making. We leave work and we're thinking about the money we should be making. We sleep and we think about what we need right now to help us. Money. We don't need jobs. We just need money. The job causes mental health problems like you wouldn't believe. The number one I would say tasks that we perform in an average day that causes your mental health to go to hell is work. And it doesn't matter what kind of work. You could be working at the Dollar Tree like me, or you could be working down the street at some factory. It doesn't matter. When the money isn't there, it stresses people out. They say that money doesn't buy happiness, but you know what doesn't? And this is a line from my script somewhere. Depression. Not having money buys you depression, sadness, despair, and isolation. When you don't have money, you don't go out. When you don't have money, you sit here in the dark like I do every Friday afternoon wondering what the hell happened. What was the past 40 hours of traumatic experiences at the Dollar Tree? It's one experience after another, after another, after another. And it's never going to go away. And it's not limited to the Death Star or Pound Town or Evil Corp, whichever place you want to call it. This week, I work at the Dollar Tree. And at the Dollar Tree, we know you're not getting that dollar. You might be getting 50 cents. You might be getting 10 cents or even a penny a day. In fact, today I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he's like, you know what? We're never going to get the prices for the things that we need ever again in this country if things stay the way that they are. America became addicted to what I would call slave labor. When you're paying people 30 cents a day in your country, you can't compete with that. You can't just stop using slave labor. Like corporations in America love using prison labor because it's as close as they can get to slave labor, but they can still say made in America. If I were a politician or if I was some sort of government official, I would make it mandatory on every American made product that it had to have the word prison if it was made by people who were suffering. Because we're all suffering at work, but at least you can go home. At prison, you are home. It's like free healthcare, free food, free love, and a job that you can't quit. You can't say no. Like this morning when I woke up, I felt like hell. I didn't want to go to Pound Town. I waited to the last possible second, and then I told myself, you have to go. Why? Because you've got to pay the electric bill. Your car needs tires. You have to buy some overpriced food. And at the end of the day, you're just going to sit there. Or not even sit there. You're going to get home from all the 40 hours of trauma, look in your bank account, and then you're going to lay down in the fetal position and wonder what just happened. While your other hand rubs your other end, wondering why fleece has to be so rough with you. All right. You ever notice how they tell us inflation is only 2.7%, but shredded cheese is $11 and a cabbage is $14? That's not inflation. That's robbery in daylight with a corporate logo slapped on it. They didn't just raise prices, they raised the bar on how much humiliation we're willing to endure for basic food. Every morning when I have ramen for breakfast, I think to myself, is this really happening? Did I really achieve this much at the Dollar Tree in order to only be able to afford to eat ramen 7 days a week now? Yes. Did I buy meat on my way home from work today? No. Meat is not going to be a common item in the proletariat diet for very much longer. I think for a long time it hasn't been. Like it's just something that you just can't afford. We're going to start eating more instant noodles or multiple meals a day because the good food, the nutritious food, hell, it's not even worth it to buy it. That's the worst part. Is the food isn't even worth buying, whether it's fast food, whether it's grocery store food, it's not worth it because it tastes so bad. Anyone who can come out here and tell me that I'm wrong, that food is fine, that it tastes the same, it's not the same. I know how much I enjoyed biting into a hamburger when I was 6 years old and my parents took me to Burger King. I loved it. It was great. I haven't had a piece of food that I can say I just didn't have to stomach it because I needed to put something in my stomach just so that I didn't become unalive. That's how bad it is. I despise eating like you wouldn't believe because you're getting price gouged. And on top of that, you're given low quality, substandard food. Something is wrong with the food. It doesn't look good, it doesn't taste good, and it's ridiculously expensive, making it a product that I would rather have no relationship with whatsoever other than it keeps me from being unalive. Here's the scam. You woke up, go to work, pay your bills, and somehow end up broke every single week. They told us hard work would equal stability, but all it really buys is a front row seat to your financial collapse. The American dream didn't become unalive. It got outsourced, resold to you at 400% markup. That is so true. That's a straight up line from the Epic Economist right there. Because the American nightmare, or I like to call it the American trauma that we're living in every single day, isn't going to get better because you don't like it. This is here to stay. As long as we let those people treat us this way and become complacent, because what else can you do? And that's why there's this call to action in every script that ChatGPT writes for me, what can we really do? I don't like the car I drive. I don't like having to work for the wages that I get paid at the Dollar Tree. I don't like any relationships that I could afford. Remember that. Your relationship with other people, a significant other, or your employment, or your life is something you don't want. The relationship that you can afford or get it or is available to you, you don't want it. Just like your relationship with food. The food that I can afford, I don't want to eat ramen. I don't want that low end relationship with a person that I can't stand looking at. I want a job that pays me so I can thrive, not these survival jobs. Working at the Dollar Tree is probably one of the worst things that you're ever going to do with your life. And no one that's there right now wants to be there. In fact, I met a girl at community college when I was going there, and she had worked at the Dollar General for over 12 years. She had a master's degree, and I think she had two master's degrees in physical therapy and special education, two loser degrees. Still living at her parents to this day, still doesn't know what she's going to do. She makes $19 an hour, and she often thinks about going back to working at the Dollar General because it was more stable. And she told me over the years, she's the only person that stayed. Year after year after year, she's the only person that stayed, and she wasn't interested in managing the place. She just liked the stability of going to work, making just enough money to pay her parents, to rent her room that she's been in her entire adult life. And I believe I think maybe turning 38 this year. And so, yeah, that happened. Anyhow, I'm not going to use the cheesy outro chat GPT with the toxic positivity in it. In fact, let's look at how it decided to end this script today. Let's see. And if that feels heavy, good. It's supposed to. Now, the only question left is how much longer are we going to keep paying for our own robbery? Like you have a choice. It always wants to give you like this alleged help. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to stop? Are you going to stop contributing to corporations and hope that that makes them change their ways? You can't. There's a reason why we have monopolies in everything, from your service provider to where you buy your food, to what kind of car you drive, to the software that you use. If you're like me, you're using a Windows 11 operating system that came with your computer. When I bought this Alienware, it came with this software. I think I had to have a code to make it Pro Edition though, but I've worked in this industry a long time. It doesn't matter. But that's where we're stuck. They give us this illusion of free will. First world country rhetoric, right? You're hearing it all the time. Even today, I was reading some news article that said, the economy's doing amazing. Everything's great. They're still trying to gaslight you into believing that everything's okay. But all you have to do is give life the sniff test and you know it smells like yesterday's gym socks. So don't let anyone tell you. You feel it with your wallet. Every day that you wake up and you think, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I can't work at the Dollar Tree. I can't put myself through the trauma of 40 hours a week just to spend my weekend sitting on my hands or doing gig work, which isn't going to lead you anywhere anyway. But that's just the way things are in this society. There's no escape. You just have to embrace the suck.